Good evening. At this time, I'll call the Finance Committee meeting to session at 7:53. Agenda item 2.3, review and discussion on general vendors and football game vendor processes. Are those all together under 2.3? No?
I think it printed incorrectly. Should be 2.1.
2.1?
Issue with board docs, there it is. Yeah, 2.1 should be review and discussion on general vendors and football game vendor processes only.
So we have asked Mr. Cavazos to give a brief overview of what the process is to be a general vendor, and then after that, we'll talk about the football game vendor process.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
So the general process for vendors, for the district to be doing business with vendors, we first look at purchasing cooperatives. If those vendors are purchasing cooperatives, we encourage the departments and the campuses to use those. The second one that we use is our local contracts, general merchandise, professional consultants, meals and catering, any local businesses that are here. We encourage the district to use those lists, and those lists are already available on our website, so the secretaries can go in there and check. The third one is probably if there's, say, a certain item that maybe a campus wants to buy, and they're not on any contract or anything like that, they'll request for a new vendor. The only thing about that is that they're gonna be required to get 3 quotes for similar or like items. Now, if they're a local vendor, I'm a big advocate of local vendors. So what I do is I tell the secretary, tell me who it is. I will go visit them. If I have an open bid, encourage them to get on the contract. So like that, everything is out in the open. So I actually go and visit the businesses sometimes myself. It's a lot of paperwork. But as far as general vendors are concerned, those are my processes.
So then, this agenda item says that you described general vendors. What
Right.
about football, the difference between football game vendor processes?
Yeah, that's,
That's somebody else?
So the football game vendor process at this point is that we just don't have any as of last month. Was there a specific question that you had, ma'am?
The purpose of this agenda item was to educate the public and just inform them of what the process is that we have here in San Benito to make it as fair as we can to vendors. There's been a lot of information out there on social media where certain vendors are saying that they're getting preference from certain individuals, and I just wanted to make sure that the community knew that we have a process, and that we're being as fair as we can to all vendors as long as they follow the vendor process, right, that you just described.
yes, ma'am.
And so there are lists out there for anyone that's interested in seeing online. There's lists. Are they updated? Are
The
they-
list is updated, yes. Now, currently, I don't have a general merchandise open bid yet, but I'm gonna open one up in December because I have gotten phone calls from vendors saying, hey, you know, I wanna become part of the contract and stuff like that. So I'm gonna open one up in December.
Okay,
And my door is open to any vendor who wants to come and visit me and express concerns or anything like that. I have an open door policy. I don't turn any vendor down.
right. And so we make it as fair as possible for vendors, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But there's been a lot of misconception out there
Yes,
that
ma'am.
that board members have the power and authority to select specific vendors, which is incorrect. And
Right.
if somebody's doing that, then in my opinion, I personally wouldn't do it, to be
Right.
pushing anybody in the district or encouraging any in the district to select a specific vendor. And that's why I wanted to clarify for the community.
At this point in time, the ones that who select the vendors are the people who are buying the items themselves. They're the ones that make the decision, nor I, nor anybody else tells them, well, no, you can't use that vendor, you have to use this one.
Right, and there's
That
some
doesn't happen.
misinformation out there of
that
people
doesn't happen at all.
praising certain board members, saying that thanks to them, they're getting, some business for their, company and so forth. And like I said, I personally don't do that, and I'm
Right.
not gonna be doing that, pushing any specific vendor or anything like that. And so it was important that the community know that there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yes, ma'am. Well, like I say, my door is always open, so any vendor can come see me anytime they want, and I will answer any questions they may have.
Thank you, Mr. Cavazos.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next agenda item is 2.2, review and discussion to extend the proposal of recycling services for one additional year. RFP number 0920 RSD.
So on this one, we currently have Redfish Recycling and Waste Management. We do a little bit of both, just because not everything is recyclable. And it's been very cost saving, so we would request an extension for one more year.
Questions, comments? Agenda item
Yes, please.
2.3, review and discussion of option to extend the pest control services district-wide.
So we did check with the maintenance director and our purchasing director to see if the services that we're getting from our current pest control service is satisfactory, and they are content with it. So we are requesting an additional year for bug off pest control and safeguard pest control.
Questions,
Oh, I'm
comments?
sorry. Is it just one of them? Bug off, I'm sorry.
Bug off?
Bug off pest control. I saw two listed.
I thought we had an internal person that was doing.
No pun intended.
Can you come up, sir?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Carmen. We do. We have one that assists us to do in-house as well, but we do them after 3 hours. What they do is it services not only our inside area, but also the outside. Sometimes we focus mainly on the classroom environment, and sometimes specifically like bees, for example, they don't do that. We'll be able to do that kind of service. We'll do also ants, sometimes if their projects work, sometimes ours work as well. So we supplement with our area. It's not my breath this time, man. It's not me getting tired. But, yeah, so we do supplement on top of that. Yes, sir, internal.
So
We
have
got
an
a guy that's
internal-
trained
we
and
have an internal
licensed.
person plus bug off.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That becomes an agenda item as well.
Yes, please.
Committee concerns, questions, comments? Anything? No? Okay. All right, so at this time, we adjourn our Finance Committee meeting at 8 o'clock.